Good evening, everyone. What's up? I just ate a satisfying meal and topped it off with a measly dessert. This is Mr. Hotta speaking. Previously, I did my last rant on grounded videos. On YouTube, there are a lot of Cartoon Network rants, as well as Nickelodeon and Disney rants. Those are the three main kids channels. There is a kids channel that has not been mentioned. Can one guess what it is? Yes, sir. It's pbskids, the baby/kids channel. A brain-dead channel that almost nobody watches. It started in 1994, just 2 years before Cartoon Network did. pbskids is a channel devoted to baby or little kids shows. Well, this is why it's called pbskids, Public Broadcasting System. The programming is targeted to ages 2 to 7-year-olds and it usually does. Ultimately, the main goal of the channel is to promote level 1 education at a really young age. In other words, to make a kid learn. Unlike Cartoon Network, Rant, there is not as much to say. There just isn't. There's not a lot to say because there weren't as many changes. Only a little research had to be done on this one. Across the vast country, there are many pbskids stations, each having their own different schedule. The schedules are very different. Most major cities have their own. That applies to times of reruns of former running shows. That's one thing I will rant on. Yes, the scheduling could be improved. Not just a little, a lot. It always has had problems. I've seen that since 2004. The differences. I will get to that later. There's still a bit of history I like to speak of before 2000s. There are only a few shows. Those included Barney and Friends, Reading Rainbow, Teletubbies, Dragon Tales, Adventures of Burka Virtues, Zaboomafoo. And Zoom. And the longest running shows, Sesame Street and Arthur. Well, they were among that. Those are two of the longest running TV shows in history. Well, they're among that. After 2000, that's when all the mini shows came out. And they were George Shrink, Seven Little Monsters, Between the Lions, Caillou, Sagwa, Clifford the Big Red Dog. And Dragonfly TV, Liberty Kids, JJ the Jet Plane, Berenstain Bears, Clifford's Puppy Days. One major change to pbskids was when pbskids Go came out on October 11th, 2004. That block on pbskids was for older kids shows and showed after all the baby shows. And that was the last thing to show on pbskids for the day, I think. That was in the afternoons. That took place in the afternoon. It would make sense to do so. After all, it's targeted to the older audience. The shows on that block included Arthur, Cyber Chase, oh yeah, on October 2011-2004, Miami Gallon Postcards from Buster came, and then Fetch with Rough Ruffman aired in the summer of 2006. Word Girl came on September 2007. Anyway, back to the regular pbskids. One really big surprise was that Thomas the Tank Engine came in 2004 to pbskids. One could never imagine that because Thomas the Tank Engine was not on there to begin with. On September 2004, 2006, the pbskids preschool block came out. That block was devoted to little kid shows. There are characters for that block and they are Miss Rosa, Mr. Steve, Hooper, Miss Lori, Dash and Dot. Miss Rosa teaches preschool, Mr. Steve is a singer, Hooper is a guinea pig, Dash is a boy, and Dot is a girl. In Season 1, Curious George, Clifford the Big Red Dog, the Fat Red Dummy, Dragon Tales, and It's a Big Big World. The second season was when Super White came and replaced It's a Big Big World. Season 4 was when Sid the Stupid Kid kicked off Dragon Tales. Hooray! In Season 5, Dinosaur Train kicked off Clifford the Big Red Dog off the block. Season 6 was when the Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that kicked off Sid the Science Kid. Over 3 years later, Peg and Cat kicked off Super Y. That's pretty much the scheduling throughout those years. As of 2014 present, which is as of now, the block consists of an hour of Curious George, 1 half hour of Peg and Cat, and a half hour of Dinosaur Train. Sid the Science Kid and Super Y air during different times now. PBS Kids Go, as for that block, ended on October 7, 2013, with only Arthur Wild Kratts, that's a newer show, and what is that other show? Oh yeah, Word Girl, remaining, still making episodes now. That was pretty smart to end that block when all the shows ended. Oh yeah. Now let's look at the problems with this kids channel. Even years ago, there were problems with this, the TV times as well as the shows. I might have to speak about that in another rant because I'm running out of time. One big problem with PBS Kids is that it ended way too early. 5 p.m.? Are you kidding me? That's sometime before supper. Here's a question. Why on earth would a TV show from PBS Kids Go block air at 2 p.m.? There are still kids in school and they would never be able to see it. To make matters worse, there were some TV stations that didn't even bother to air TV shows on the weekends at all, Saturdays or Sundays. What? Why? Why on earth would they not air TV shows? The solution would be to air shows 5:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. every day. Well, look at the time. I've got to go. There will be a part 2 to this rant. In the next rant, I will be reviewing all the TV shows that I know of. Good night.